What is up, guys? Tony here from Geek Legion Games, and today we are finally back putting out some BT-11 videos. I apologize for being out for a couple weeks, IRL, working all that. Had to put in some major overtime just so I can go out for the week for LA. We are participating in the Nationals tournament. So with each passing day after today, I will get up one deck profile out of what decks, what you might encounter. I might title it like the road to Nats or what has yous, but we're also going to go over the decks I had previously made. I did make changes, so I will put them out for you. But before we get to that, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the playlist videos for BT-11. Might have in the top left hand or right side screens, so you can check those out. And without further ado, let's get with the deck profile. Alright, to start the deck profile, only eggs you need to run, and it's obviously 4 of, it's Pikmons. When attacking, draw a card if it's got Xros, which is basically our entire deck, so you're always going to be proccing drawing cards. Starting off our level 3s, obviously a place set of Starmons, because you need these because half our lineups are our 4s, 5s, and our 7s need Starmons. Also, it's got inheritability when attacking, draw a card. Our best level 3s is our Sparamons here. Basically, this card you want to be on your eggs here most of the time. I mean, Starmon's obviously here second, but this guy here, if it's on the egg, it's 5,000. Start of your turn. It's all turns, actually, I should say. Sorry. So, really problematic level 3 that, checking security you feel pretty good about because sometimes, they got rookies in there most times and it's going to ride over it. Obviously, if he's level 4, it's not going to make it because, it's 5,000. But anyway, hair building this guy, it's got Shaman or Maruvamon. He gets Reboot. So that's really neat too. Helps with our cross 5s and 7s. Up next after that, we have our Shoutmons here. You don't want to be Digimon this in the back because it doesn't really provide you anything because you want to be playing this looking at top 3 cards. And obviously you're going to be net 2 cards unless you don't find a Tamer, obviously, among them. You're adding one card with Digimon with Xros and a Tamer. So if you get lucky, you had Tamer and you're obviously your Digimon you're drawing to. Then lastly for level 3s, running a Spice 2 of and the Shoutmon plus Star Sword. Also, it also counts as a Shoutmon and Starmons. So for our extra cost 4, if we don't have, if we have this in hand and we're missing actually this and this can count as both. Then you can do your Darula and Ballista and you use this as one of the sources. Obviously, you're not going to have Rush, but it's something to fill in. But you can use that for other cards too, but also for its main reason we're playing this is for on play. You get to give some -3,000, then if you Digicross with 2 cards, which is basically the Shoutmon and Starmon, you get to delete something with 2,000 or less. So Psychmons can go away. Obviously, it's got 3,000, so we'll just delete it anyway. But if there's something for 5,000 in the field, they hard play a champion. If they're really stuck, whatever, you can just play this for 5. It's not for 5, it'll be for 3 actually, because it's -1 for its Digicrossing, and delete it. So if they're really struggling, they put that champion out there and they hope it lives, you just say no. Anyway, we got 4 Durulamons up here. Its on-play effect is to give some -3,000 to the end of your opponent's turn, which is really neat. Pairs well with our yellow Tamers. And its hair ability is also really great because when you're attacking, not once per turn, you get -2,000 their security stack. Up next after that, we got our Ballistamons, our main blockers of the deck. That's it. It's got blocker in its face value, and it's for inheritability. It's got piercing. So X cross 4 can swing into something piercing, something suspended on the field, does its check, lives, gets sucked back in Tamers, and you can do other things. Up next, we got cross 3s. Some people play this at 3. I'm actually this out of 4, obviously, because I want the on play to happen really well, and we also have a level 6 that pairs well with this. We'll get to that in a minute. Digicross -2 for Shoutmon, Ballista, and Darula. So basically 1, 2, and 3. Gives it Rush, on play, look at the top 3 cards you deck, and draw 2. You're always going to be drawing 2, so that is that. And then finally, after our last unfortunate Shoutmon cross 4, if we were in a format where this is still a 4 of, and this is still a 4 of, this deck would be skyrocketing right now. But unfortunately, it's only at a 1 of, and it's fine. It is completely fine. It adds 1 more to the Starmons, so all you need is Starmon now to go into this. On play, draw 2 cards, and the end of the attack, like I explained before, you get the swing in, and if it lives, suck all the sources back in, unsuspend your tamer, and you can do something else after that. Speaking of, you can even probably go right into this right after that, and still keep it your turn. Shotmon Cross 5, we're not playing this as a 4 of anymore because we're playing all the level 5s here that need to fill in the spot. So at a 2 of, it's completely fine. You could bump this up to 3, but I would not recommend going to 4 with the new style this deck is going now. Security +1, it's got blocker, materially safe 3, requires everything, that's the word I'm looking for, and now you just need Sparamon. And it's a 10k beat stick, and you can play it for 0 once you have all them out. Up next, our new level 5s, we got Omni Shouts. This can Digivolve from a Shoutmon level 4, so you can Warp Digivolve one of your Shoutmons, preferably the Rush one with the Inheritable, right on top of this. When Digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon with 4,000 DP can be deleted, and then if you have obviously Shoutmon and its Inheritables, you get to do 2 of them. So if you're going up against a go wide deck like Etmon, the poop deck that's going around, which, I'm missing some cards for that. That's going to be our next video, hopefully this week before I fly out on Monday. This card right here, if it's going up against that matchup, you just blow up 2 things. It's really great. Any other go wide decks or even something problematic, we'll meet to snipe them out. And it's got his inheritabilities. While this has Shotmon in its name, you gain security +1. So you can also use this for Digicrossing. I almost forgot to mention that. In the very top, right up here, it says you can use this as Shoutmon as a Digicross. So even if you don't want Rush with this, you can have this as inheritable and then wait to swing next turn. You get security +1. Something to look in for that. Up next for level 6s, running the new Xros Greymon. I believe I said that name right. This is the Blue Flare's top end level Greymon, because when Digivolving, you can Digivolve 200 Greymon, but we don't have Greymon, so if you want to Digivolve on top of this to go into this, it's going to be for 3 memory. Moving forward, when Digivolving, unsuspend this Digimon. That happens no matter what. And then while you have Blue Flare X, there's also triggers too, so if you have Blue Flare Xros, which point taken, you always have Xros on this. As long as your opponent has 2 or more Digimon on the field, you gain 2 memory. So you can go Digivolve for 3 and gain 2 of it back, so it'll be a 1 Evo. But if they only have one or less Digimon on the field, you're just going to pay for the full 3. The on-deletion effect, we're just going to use it safe. We're not going to be able to do any Greymon to Mailbird shenanigans. But that would be for a Blue Flare video. Later on, we'll definitely talk about this guy and all what he can do. And obviously, opponent's turn, while this Digimon has Blue Flare or X-Cross, it gains blocker. Very nice. Next after that, we have one Shoutmon DX. This also counts as both these guys' names here, so keep that in mind. You can use this as 1 card for 2 names, kind of like the Star Sword. And then on play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 8,000 or less. I think it's 8,000, right? It is 8,000. I thought it was 6. It is 8,000 or less, and one of your opponent's Digimon can't attack. So that's really nice. You can blow something up, and you get to stop something from attacking for their turn. So there's that. And attack by deleting this Digimon, you can gain 1 memory. So if you do actually have the cross of these 2 going into this, and you could swing with it, if you know your lineup play is going to be Shoutmon X7, spoiler, that is in this deck, you can just go ahead and delete that, have these 2 back into sources, and you can have a bigger stack. Up next for 2 level 6s, this is a big surprise, even to myself here, but we've been playing testing this for a little bit, and this card is actually pretty good in this deck. It's also pretty good in the Minerva loop too. It just hard loses to mem blocks, but this is also really good here too. Because here's why: on play, you also can Digivolve. Before I get the on play, actually, you can Digivolve this on a level 4 on the X-Cross, since it is part black. So you can Digivolve for 4 if you really want to, but for 8 costs, so all you need to do is shove 1 Digimon with X-Cross, which can be anything over here. You can play 1 level 4 or lower Digimon. It does say purple first, but we don't have any purple Digimon. But as long as we have X-Cross, which, guess what? We have the whole deck here, X-Cross. You're going to play 1 level 4 Digimon or lower with X-Cross in name. And if you did cross, you can do 1 number plus. So we can spin out 2 dudes. We can spin out this guy. Spin out the Shoutmon Cross 3. We can spin out the Rulon if we want to. Ballista, even though it already has blocker, but the main targets are the Cross 4, 3, and Darula. You can even do Shoutmon, or even the Shoutmon plus Star mode. Anything, pretty much all of our on plays, you want to play those out. And then all turns, as long as they have retaliation, which they don't have retaliation, or they have Xros and traits, which we have, they gain rush and blocker. So if you catch yourself for some reason at 8 memory, and you go to 0 with this, you spit out 2 dudes, do all their on plays, and they can swing. That's nuts. That is very nuts. And obviously you can swing with this too, because she'll also have rush and blocker. She also has Xros in name. Finally, after that, with the rest of our Digimon, running 3 Shoutmon X. People may say this might be a little bit bricky. Yes and no, but it's good to see it. It's good to see in the security as a 13, because if they're riding in with their Greymon, or the Black War Greymon, they're gonna be running the Secon +1 version of the Greymon and the Egg, which doesn't give them plus anything. They're gonna swing and hit this in security and it goes away. I had to actually happen a couple times where they just hit this, and there's nothing they can do about it. But on play, and it has rush, material save 4. But the on play is delete one of your opponent's Digimon with DP less than or equal to this Digimon. So if you hit all 6 requirements, you could delete anything in the game. There is nothing in the game that's sitting there face value more than 16 at the moment right now. So if something's at 16, you have all 6 sources, bye, get it out of here. And then if somehow it's still your turn, because you have all 6, it's for 2 memory, you get to swing with this with all the inheritables, neg security +2, piercing, rush. I mean, it has rush on here anyway, so this doesn't matter. But this is great stuff. Security +1 with the Omni Shout, and you got blocker, reboot. Like, this guy is just, if it's on the field and you blow out their stack and they got nothing in the bag, they lose to this no matter what. They have to answer this with some kind of option. That'd be it for the Tamers. For the Digimon, sorry. We're going to our Tamers now. They got 4 Taikis over here. So our main search engine looking for top 4 cards and adding a Digicross to hand and a Digicross to the sources of our Tamers. Nothing more to explain there. And then your turn, obviously, you get to tap this Tamer to pull out sources if you're going to Digicross. That's what I'm running as a 4 of. Up next, we're only running 3 Akaris here. 4 is a little much. 3 is, I think, the perfect number in my opinion. You get to play out the Darula. It does its on-play effects, and you can tap her draw cards. So if you have 3 on the field, you're drawing 3 for every Digimon you play. Deck does a lot of drawing. We can reduce down the 2 Zenjo. I had this at a 3, and honestly, this gets clogged in my hand, and I just don't want to see them in the hand. This plays out the Ballista from hand or sources, and then obviously when you play Digimon with Xros, then you get to suspend these in game memory. Then after that, running 2 copies of the triple Tamer. Start your turn by placing 1 Digimon with Xros or Blue Flare in its traits. You get to gain a memory draw card. So basically, you're cycling cards out of your hand that you put in your Tamers right now you don't need, and hoping to draw stuff like your crosses, your cross 5, 4s, and 3s, to then just play them out and do what you gotta do. And you also can use this same effect as Taiki to suspend this to do things. So we have 6 Tamers that can do the suspending and pull sources out rather than just the 4 now. But that will be it for the deck. We have no options. We're not running Sunrise Busters. We're not running Reinforcement Boosts. We want to keep this as consistent as possible with everything it does here. This deck is very consistent as it is now. Definitely make some changes. If you don't like this, it's going to be some other level 6. You can up the numbers here. But this card is just nutty. This card's almost borderline broken. And the deck feels fun again. Obviously, its hardest matchup is Black War, which, this deck, some variant of this will show up in Nats for sure, because someone's going to run it and try to just out aggro them, which you can. I have beaten Black War a couple times, but once they go up to Black War and once they play Hades Force on you, when they have their stack out before you, you just lose the game. There is literally no continuing the game. Unless you have this in hand and every piece in your hand after that, then you have a shot. That's also if they don't have X Antibody. But against every other matchup after that, this deck just steamrolls everything. But leave your thoughts, comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.